Hey everyone, while I'm drinking some wine tonight, I just thought I'd share some thoughts while I drink a beautiful Sangiovese from Tuscany, 2020. I like the big, bold Italians with a lot of flavor. And so you'll be seeing a lot of that if you ever come drink with me or if I ever put any drinks on the channel. So I just wanted to share a few things that I think identify someone who's a pro eater. You can have any combination of 2 to 6 of these that I'm thinking of. I think the first is that you study the menu. Unlike amateurs out there, you don't go to game time without knowing the playbook, right? So I think pro eaters will watch film, study tape, understand what makes a menu strong, what they like about a menu, and that's when they go in. They might change their mind when the time comes, but understanding and studying the menu before you get to the place is perfect. It does a few things, right? You get no time wasted. You don't get pressured into ordering something you don't like. You know, for example, you don't get the scalloped avocado at a steakhouse, for example. And then, I think just understanding also what makes a great menu from studying so many is that you understand that someone who tries to do everything, not knocking on Cheesecake Factory, but small chain restaurants or small mom and pops who try to have a menu that covers everything from pasta to pizza, steaks, orange chicken. They just do so much that it's probably not gonna be good. I know there's a lot of fusion restaurants out there, but 2, I think that's a fusion. 3, if you do it really well, it's possible. But 4, I think you should just get up and run. Second, know the lore of the restaurant that you're going to, as well as what they think they specialize in. So for example, a lot of people haven't heard of St. Louis style pizza, but let's say a place specializes in St. Louis style pizza, but they don't serve it with Provel cheese. Provel cheese is almost exclusive and equivalent to St. Louis style pizza. So if you knew that lore, you should walk out because that restaurant just lost all of its credibility. When you know the lore, you would understand that burritos in San Diego are gonna be excellent, right? Or I think an even better example is New Orleans has amazing Vietnamese food because a lot of Vietnamese immigrants moved to New Orleans and stayed there as fishermen. With the knowledge of that lore, you would know that you're not gambling when you get Vietnamese food in New Orleans. Third, taste everything, even if you think it's gross, right? I'm not saying I love liver. I wouldn't eat pounds and pounds of it, but that same liver, if you just take a bite of it, understand what it tastes like in that certain form, you'd have better insight into what makes a great pate, because that same liver turns into the pate that's in banh mi. Number 4, when you get to the restaurant, be sure to look around. If you go to an Indian restaurant and you hear a lot of people speaking Punjabi, Hindi, or not that I would be able to tell the difference, but if you can't understand what brown people are saying, you're probably in the right spot. And then an extra level there is if you see people of all cultures and backgrounds, white people, brown people, black people, Asian people, at an Indian restaurant, that's a great sign because now they've transcended culture and their food is just that good. Number 5, if you're a pro eater, you would know what etiquette there is and if you can break them or not. So for example, if you're eating at a Chinese restaurant, from an etiquette perspective, I think it's socially acceptable if you try to use the chopsticks and eventually give up and use a spoon and fork. But from an etiquette perspective, I don't think it's optional to do family style. I think if you go to a true Chinese banquet style place, you have to eat family style. You just can't break that. If you're a pro eater, you would know those etiquette rules. You can break the chopstick one, but never break the family style one. And lastly, if you're a pro eater, you're committed to the game, right? Be willing to wait for dishes. I have had 100% success rate on all of the dishes that say, be willing to wait 15 minutes or 40 minutes from ordering. If you're committed to the game, you're willing to be the last person eating, right? If you're committed to the game, then it's okay that your food comes in 20, 30 minutes later than everyone else, if it's gonna be worth the wait. And for me, 100% success rate, if I wait for the food, it's amazing.